Hello to this one thing that can lead to the weight loss that you want to have. So, I did this one thing, and that's one of the reasons why I lost 100 pounds. So, do this one thing for your weight loss. And this is what it is. I'm not going to make you wait for it, so you don't have to listen to everything, but I do want to break it down. And so here it is. The number one thing you need to do as a woman over 50 is take care of yourself. But then what does that really mean? I hear so many people say, I eat healthy. And yet I always wonder what they think healthy means. If you haven't studied functional nutrition and really dive deep into ancestral health, you may not know what healthy really means. If you're just watching the medical system or your doctor told you what they want you to do, that might not be healthy for your body. You could be eating blueberries, and blueberries might not be healthy for your body. It could be sweet potatoes and tomatoes. Those might not be healthy for your body. Those were not healthy for my body because when I run my food sensitivity test, those came up on my food sensitivity test. And I used to wonder why I would gain weight after eating sweet potatoes or tomatoes. I just assumed I had too many carbohydrates, and that was the way my body was reacting to them. But it turns out I was sensitive to those foods. And to this day, I try not to eat blueberries, even though they're healthy food. For one thing, they were on my food sensitivity test. I haven't taken another one. It could be that that's um, out of range. My body's no longer looking at that as something that's causing inflammation to my body. But when I eat blueberries, it's too much sugar, glucose load in my blood because I always crave more. And when you eat food and you crave it, it could be you want to step back and think, what am I doing that's causing me to crave this food? And so this is kind of like my resilience, my determination, my can-do attitude is thinking outside the box and like, I'm reacting to something. Why am I reacting to this? Or why is my heart rate higher? And why, when I drink alcohol, was my heart rate high? Why do certain foods cause my heart rate to go high? We want to think about what these things are. And on a daily basis, this is taking care of yourself. And we want to know what you want to know, what you can do to take care of yourself to actually, what is the goal? Let's break that down. What is the goal? The goal could be to lose weight. Yes, we all want to lose the weight. I always did, and I'm still trying to fine tune that because why not? I've got determination, I've got resilience. What can I do next? I'm going to think about all of that. It's because everything that I've been through has created the person that I've become. I'm so much stronger now. I've been reflecting on this, on my confidence. And I sometimes wonder, when I tackle new things, I'm like, I don't feel so confident. But I've really created confidence. I've created a body that's beautiful that I could look up and feel myself and just hug myself and think, oh my gosh, I did such a good job taking care of myself. And so when I look at taking care of myself, it's like, yeah, I was overweight, but I was looking for my weight loss and diabetes solution. And I didn't discover it right away. I had to live through it. I had to experiment. I had to read. I had to study. I had to live through all the diets. I had to fail them. And sometimes we have to fail things to get to the other side. But through all of that, I was working on taking care of myself. I was looking for my weight loss and diabetes solution. And what that means to me is permanent weight loss. Finally, losing that weight for good. So if you've got stubborn weight loss issues or you've got stubborn weight gain, you keep gaining weight, you can't stop the weight gain. What's going on in your body that you can manage? We got to get curious. We got to think about it. We're our own person. We are the only person we're ever going to have. We are number one. This is us. This is me. I am my person. I love myself, and we want to love ourselves and take care of ourselves as if we were the child of ourselves, which we are. We've been given ourselves. We've been given to each other. We are ourselves. We say the universe gave us us. We are a person. And so in thinking about that, I'm like, yeah, I have to take care of myself. Everything that I do. has to be because I need to be healthy. I need to be the person that I need to be to maybe take care of other people around me. But if I don't take care of myself, I can't do that. I can't make a difference in this world if I don't take care of myself. And so everything that I've done up to now has created the woman I am over 50 and the practitioner that I am, helping women over 50 get the life that they want to lead and reclaim the second half of their life so that they can be healthy. And the reason I am kind of really curious about bringing this subject into you guys today is because there's really, if you break it down, this number one thing that we can do to take care of ourselves as women over 50 is powerful. There is, but we need to break that down. And it's not necessarily going out to buy a new purse, going out to get your hair done, going out to get your nails done. Sure, those can be good things that are stress reduction, but overall, they're not going to give you the healthy body that you need to have. And so when you look at taking care of yourself, you want to look at making a list of what's going wrong in your body. Do you have pain and inflammation? Do you have cravings that are out of control? Do you have, that pain and inflammation? When you've got pain in your body, that sciatica, the pain in the bottom of your feet, even not being able to sleep and having insomnia, what's going on in your body? Overwhelm, depression, anxiety, asthma, allergies, all of those things. We want to take stock. What's going on in our body? And think, what can I do? Think outside the box. Okay, if this is going wrong, do I just live with it? Do I have to live with it? No. You have to think, how can I take care of myself? If this is going on, what's the root cause of that? If there is a root cause of that, the medical system cannot really do anything. They are going to do their best to support you. They're all hard workers, but they don't have the tools to be a health coach or a functional practitioner where they can take your hand, look underneath the hood, run the right diagnostic labs, not just labs that the medical system runs and check your blood, but if you get urine tests for your hormone, a stool test for your gut, if you get a food sensitivity test, which is a blood draw for your to find out what your white blood cell mediators are reacting to in your body that are causing pain and inflammation. When you get this information, when you find out what your total bile acids are, like are you digesting fat and protein or do you have malabsorption? That's huge. I'm seeing that in my test. It's huge. It's going to cause detoxification problems. That's going to lead to the buildup of disease in your body. And so being proactive, having that can-do attitude, and thinking, make a list today, ladies. If you're watching this and listening to this, make a list. Make a list. What's going on in your body? What's going on in your body? And if you're over 50 and your hormones are low, we got to put that on the list because that's what I'm troubleshooting too. We have to replenish our hormones, but we can't replenish them if we don't know what's going on in our body. If we don't know that we have malabsorption issues, we don't know why we're falling apart, we don't know why we're having autoimmune conditions or why all of a sudden we're exhausted and we're getting more viruses, more things that need antibiotics, because if you get a virus and you get these things because your immune system's low, you have to throw antibiotics at it. If we don't take care of ourselves, we have to take the drugs. And then your immune system drops. And so this is also about taking care of your immune system. When you take care of your immune system, by getting outside, grounding, getting sunlight, being aware that you need to do that, not hiding from the sun, but maybe building up your solar callus so that you can get out in the sun. And that starts in the morning. And if you're not getting the right amount of sleep, that starts in the morning because you have to pull in melatonin, you have to create serotonin, you have to actually pull light into your body, light up your mitochondria, those ATP production units in your body. You'll have to do all of that. And it's not something that you actually have to do and check off on a list every day specifically, but it's something that you could get into a routine. You can get into the rhythm of taking care of yourself. So here is something that I do in the mornings when I get up. I don't lay around in bed too much. I did sleep until 6:30 this morning, but there's days when I just want to pop up at 5:30, 6 o'clock. And then I'm going to open up this curtain on the side and the window on the side of the south-facing wall. It's east-facing wall. And I look at the sun every morning and I get that light in my eyes before I go into the kitchen because sometimes the bright overhead lights are on and I don't want that blue light in my eyes. Then as soon as I can, I'm going to go outside and take off my glasses and get more light in my eyes. And I'm going to touch the ground with my bare feet to disperse positive ions and collect negative ions. And the more you do that every day barefoot, the more you're turning off the inflammation in your body. That is self-care. That's taking care of yourself. But if you put dark glasses on and block the light, you can't take care of yourself. If you don't get sun on your skin, you can't take care of yourself. If you look back in the way our species was designed, we are plugged into the earth with our feet touching the ground. We have sun on our skin. Our skin is designed to collect vitamin D3 onto our skin with fat through cholesterol, and every receptor site in our body has this receptor for D3. Every ATP cellular unit in your body, all your mitochondria have light receptors. If you're blocking the light and not getting it in your eyes, you're not going to get the energy you need to actually maybe detox, because we live in a very toxic environment. You want to look at us as being in a zoo. We are stuck in boxed houses, in zoos. And I'm inside right now, but I did go outside earlier. You want to look at yourself as a zoo animal. And zoo animals get fat because they're stuck in an environment that doesn't fit their body, eating food that doesn't fit their species requirements. I'm going to tell you what my cat did today because I was kind of surprised. Heartbroken in a way because it was a rabbit. I'm going to call it a rabbit rather than a bunny because it was a small rabbit. And I guess I have a whole ecosystem in my backyard because I have a half acre of desert in the back, full of lizards, full of birds. The lizards and birds are under my protection, so if I find them alive, I take them back outside. The bunny didn't make it in alive; it was already dead, and so otherwise I would have rescued it. The gophers and the mice, they're on their own. The cats catch them; that's their job. But I was surprised. I went outside and I was working. I was doing my office work outside, getting sunlight on my skin. And I had noticed that the cat had a rabbit. Okay, so I'm like, okay, it's dead. I can't do anything about it. Just left it there. And then I went outside, 30, 40 minutes later, I came back in. All I found was the rabbit's tail. And I'm thinking, okay, where's the rest of this rabbit? It's got to be around here somewhere. I can't find any pieces of this. I'm assuming that one or two cats ate the whole rabbit. And I'm like, okay, I don't need to feed these cats. I do not need to feed these cats because they already ate. So I'm like, maybe I need to feed them less and spend less money on kibble, because definitely they know how to get out there and catch their food. But what I'm coming down to is the more you look at your environment and actually eat the food that we are designed to eat, the more we are going to get the health of our body. So I know my cats need to eat this meat and get this food so that they could live to be 20 years old, because if they don't eat that food, get outside, run around, get exercise, get light on their skin, touch the ground, like zoo animals, if you're not in your environment, you will get fat and you will get sick. And then that's how cancer turns on, disease turns on. And so taking care of yourself is flipping that sugar switch off, flipping that disease-causing gene off, so that we could create the health that we want in our body, so we could live the life that we want. We could reclaim the second half of our life, and it can start at any time. Just because you're 50 or 60 doesn't mean it's too late. It's only too late when you've given up your hope, when you've given up taking care of yourself. I've got a client that wanted to take care of herself at 50. She's feeling run down, feeling overstressed, run down. She's a nurse. She sees it all over the place and where she works. People are falling apart. She didn't want to fall apart. So for her 50th birthday, she's decided that the second half of her life is going to be her best half. And she's going to figure out what she needs to do. So she ran all the labs. She's working with me. She's pulling in a holistic low-carb diet. And she's been doing that off and on, researching, working on neurotransmitters, finding out the amino acids that she needed for her body, working on holistic eating and getting more of a low-carb diet. But she needed the accountability. She couldn't keep it up because she's exhausted. She's stressed. When you don't have somebody to hold your hand and guide you, you don't always do the steps you need to do on a daily basis. You're not taking care of yourself regularly because you forget to check things off, or you forget what it is that you're doing. You haven't made it a lifestyle change yet. And so it's more like, yeah, I've heard these things. Yeah, that sounds interesting. Yeah, maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. But you never really build a lifestyle around holistic living that's going to get you to where you need to go so that you can feel amazing. And so you can feel amazing. What if you can feel amazing for the second half of your life? What if you could be dancing into your 90s? Those are all the things that I want to do. And so that's why I never gave up looking for my health solution, my weight loss and diabetes solution. So I don't have diabetes because I actually reversed my risk for diabetes. I don't have any disease in my body right now because I've been dodging that bullet, and I'm hoping I dodged it completely. And sometimes we may not be able to dodge it completely, so I can be completely honest with you here. And this is all for educational purposes. So, if you've got problems and issues that you need to get checked out by your doctor, get checked out by your doctor, because we can be a team. You can be a practitioner for holistic health coaching and holistic lifestyle management, running your diagnostic labs, and actually taking you through a process that works to help you reset your metabolism, to lower your blood sugar and reverse your risk for disease and diabetes. It can happen. But sometimes we need to get yourselves checked medically as well. But what you can do is make a list of what you want to do and how you feel. What are your goals? What is your dream? Because my dream was to be my best self. I didn't know what that best self was going to be. I just knew that I got excited when I studied health and nutrition. I'm supposed to be doing a project of actually looking up YouTubes and podcasts to get on and do more speaking. I'm having a problem with that because I get too excited. I start researching it. I start thinking about, I need to listen to this podcast. I need to listen to that podcast. I want to hear this. I want to learn that. And one of them was talking about lemon essential oils. And I'm like, oh, I need to listen to that, And so I get distracted. So I don't feel like I was doing the best job there, but I was exploring. The thing is, get excited to make lifestyle changes. If you have any pain in your body, you want to figure out what that is. Go to your doctor first. And if you need 6 months of accountability and lifestyle management with the holistic low carb method and actually resetting your metabolism to finally lose the weight for good, that's where I come in. So I can be part of your team, because this is taking care of ourselves. And these are some of the things that I do to take care of myself. And then I'm going to kind of go into how some of my clients are taking care of themselves and what they're doing, because what I've noticed with myself and with my clients is they'll start with me because they come to me because they're walking death, was one client said. Another client says, I feel like I'm dying. And another client says, I've been doing this for 5 years. I can't find my solution. Why do I have insulin resistance? Or, they just every evening I'm eating, I can't stop the cravings. I can't do this by myself. Those are all legitimate. These are things that are happening to us. And none of us need to do this by ourselves. It's hard. We don't know where to go. We don't know where to go, which direction to turn into, and where the blind spots are. The blind spots, those are huge. Do you know what yours are? And so that's where I come in, and I'm like, sometimes I just need to hear what you say to know exactly what you need to hear, so that I can give you the right resources and take you in the right direction to get you the healing that you need. And so as a health detective for functional diagnostic nutrition, that is my talent, to see patterns. That's been in my talent my whole life. I thought it was useless, but it was like to see patterns. I could type, I could see patterns. I've got a puzzle in my head. I stick new ones in there every day, and then I pull them out, and then I give them to my clients. And I am so grateful to be able to be on this journey, to have had the pain that I did that created the person that I am today, to give me my purpose and my passion, to be able to be this holistic health practitioner with the holistic low carb method that is a weight loss and diabetes solution and a health adventures experience, because all of this is activating what you need to do to take care of yourself and to actually internalize it, activate this, and put it in your mind and put it in your body and put it in there and make it normal. I don't ever turn on the blender without actually dropping down and doing a squat or doing some jumping jacks, because that is what I taught myself to do. Build a habit on top of a habit. And if I'm going to pick up my weights, I'm going to step outside and step on the ground, on the grass, and pick up my weights and do it there, not on the concrete, not in the house, because I get more energy stepping on the earth. And so these are all things that I build into a habit, into a lifestyle change, into shifts that I need to do to not be a zoo animal, to get out into my environment and plug back into the earth, and then actually eat the food that is right for my body so that I can thrive. And so that comes down to what I eat every day. It comes down to what I drink every day. It comes down to what I do outside and why I get sunlight on my skin, the sleep that I do, getting to bed before 10 o'clock at night, and trying to block the blue light as best I can. I am an entrepreneur, and I do get on my cell phone at night when I'm not supposed to. And sometimes I'll be busy studying something, like I just finished studying the Quicksilver Hormone Mastery Program, which I certified in. And I had probably too much blue light in my eyes, but I did that, and I'm excited. And one of the things that we want to always do is, in a daily environment, is how can we use food, supplementation, our habits to actually detox our body on a daily basis, get the right digestion for our body, and make sure we're aware of the toxins that are around us and what can we remove and reduce so that we don't have such a big toxic bucket load. So if you think about a full bucket, you start to get sick because that bucket is overflowing. When your bucket overflows, you have a disease turned on. And you need to reduce that bucket and dump it all out and start reducing your toxic load, start detoxing your body. But you need to digest. If you're having malabsorption and you're not digesting, you can't get the health that you need. I'm noticing this in the test, guys. I'm noticing this. It's powerful, to the point that I think I need to get myself a new test just to double check. So that's on my list to do. And I did order my hair tissue mineral analysis. I do that about every 4 to 5 months because I am doing a metal detoxification. That's my detox process right now. But on a regular basis, I don't eat out of aluminum. I don't put my food on bare pans that have aluminum or coating, so I'll use parchment paper. Yes, it might have a little bit of plastic, but for me, that's a better alternative. That's less toxic overload in my bucket. And then I'm making sure that my food is organic for the most part, and that I'm eating clean food as best I can, and drinking the things that I need to drink. Like I need to make sure I get my salt. I need to make sure I get my potassium. So I have my electrolytes, and I need to make sure I drink before I drink my coffee, and I need to make sure that my coffee is organic so I have less toxins. And then I have specific minerals that I take. So these are all things that I've designed and developed to reduce the toxic load in my body so I can detox, to support my digestion and my mineral absorption so that my body can function the way it needs to function. And so this is part of that number one thing you need to do. It does have to be broken down, but it's taking care of yourself, especially as a woman over 50. We got to understand that all of what's happened up until 50 is that we've been trying to maintain insulin resistance and blood sugar dysregulation that has been causing havoc in our body. And then we've been building up toxins, endocrine dysfunction. One of the reasons why you see these pictures of people before the 1950s where they were all slender, nobody was overweight, hardly anybody. My grandmother, unfortunately, that runs in my family, she was overweight because that was part of her DNA. But for the most part, they weren't. But this is what's happening. More sugar in the diet, vegetable oils that are toxic to our system, causing inflammation and oxidation. So we need to have an oil change. We need to reduce the sugar consumption. We need to maybe not have sugar until we get our body healthy, to lose the weight, till we get it healthy, to turn off the disease-causing genes in our body. We want to think about that. And when we reduce the plastic endocrine disruptors and all those scents, if you buy anything with fragrance, from your hair care, even your nail polish, endocrine disruptors, all of those scents, there's a whole, I was like horrified one time when I walked into the grocery store, the whole aisle, because I don't go there very often, a whole aisle of what do they call those fragrance dispensers that you put in your house? And then if you walk into the detergent aisle and you smell all that stuff that you smell, that's filling up your toxic bucket. That is an endocrine disruption. That's making you fat. That's plasticizers. That is causing you to have dysfunction in your body. So the number one thing that you can do to take care of yourself in that regard, besides food and environment there, is to not have those scents coming into your nose. We need essential oils. I've actually did something new this year. I started buying a expensive powdered dishwashing detergent that I use. And somebody told me, gosh, that's a lot of money you spend on that. I'm like, well, do you want the fumes? Do you want the plastic on your food, on your dishes? I don't want that on my body. So it's worth it to me to make that step. And you don't have to do all these steps all at once, but you could start. Just don't get anything with fragrances. Those are endocrine disruptors causing your body to get fat. Don't store things in plastic. And God forbid, don't cook them in a microwave after that's sticking to your body. Just putting your food in plastic containers and cooking them in a microwave like that, especially if they were hot when you put them into the plastic and then heated it up again in plastic, you can gain weight from that as endocrine disruptors. There's been studies done on that. And then taking the scents out of things, I actually creating my own countertop sprays, and I use vinegar and I'm using essential oils and water. It's working. I'm excited about that. And so those are some of the new things I did. And I always focus on sleep. And I can't not go to sleep, because once you get up in the morning, you get sunlight in your eyes and you get that red light in your eyes. And I have a red light panel. When we get that light in our body, we're actually balancing our circadian rhythm so we can go to sleep earlier. If you push past 10 o'clock, you actually reduce your risk, your deep sleep and your detoxifying sleep, because 2 hours before midnight is having like 4 hours rather than if you went to bed later. So what that means is you are going to get deeper, more detoxifying sleep. Did you know that your brain actually drains, lymphatic drainage at night when you go to sleep? If you don't get the right detoxification, your brain's not going to cleanse. And when you don't get cleansing of your brain, what's going to happen to your brain? We want to focus on brain health too, especially as women over 50. That's part of the process. We need to keep our brain healthy, our mitochondria healthy. We need to light up our body. We need to put our feet on the ground. We need to put the food in our body that works for our species. So ancestral health. And so look at this as a whole foods diet. You want to take out the processed food. Stage 4 processed food is food that is just chemicals. If you're putting those into your body, you got to break it down. Chemicals in your body is poison. And, you know, if you need help with your brain, make an image, take a can of Raid bug spray and spray it on that food you think is delicious. And think about that every time. I look at these foods and I think they're poison. I look at foods that are poison to my body, which were the donuts, you know, the even the SnackWell cookies back in the day, the jelly beans I used to eat that I thought I needed to make me feel good. I don't crave any of those foods. I don't crave wheat anymore. I don't crave bagels anymore. And I used to love bagels, but I read the Wheat Belly. I'm not going to eat that stuff anymore. When we look at these foods as they don't serve our body, we could look at them as poison. And if you're healthy and you've got great mitochondria and you've got slender body that isn't full of visceral fat, then you could eat fruit and honey. But if you've got a body that is overweight, has insulin resistance, blood sugar out of control, a metabolism that isn't functioning, and your body is overwhelmed, you're stressed out, and you're coming down with all kinds of conditions, write them out. What do you feel in your body? Write those out, because that is your dysfunction. And when I do a metabolic analysis for my clients, I find over 300 to 500 different things going on in their body, and then also the degree to what that is causing problems in the body, so that I can actually analyze that and discover what's going on, to be able to figure out what's happening. Like one of my clients, one of them was, you could see the bunch of stress or the endocrine dysfunction. And one of them was like chemical sensitivities. I'm like, wow, she's coming up really high on chemical sensitivities. Yeah, I'm going to take that into consideration when I'm looking at her test to see what kind of detoxification is happening, because that's the lack of detoxification. Sure enough, her test showed that. And that's correlation. And so if you get correlations happening between the 5 different labs and you can kind of see what's going on in your body, then you know what you need to work on. And so when you address the weak and vital voids, when you address these weaknesses, these hidden healing opportunities come to light, there you can address them and discover what your weight loss blocks are, so you can finally bust through that weight loss stall, finally get that weight to go down, finally have permanent weight loss. I have permanent weight loss. I'm so excited to have recreated the body that I wanted to live with into my 60s. Am I doing it perfect? No, there's some days where I didn't do it perfect. But for the most part, I'm taking care of myself. I'm eating the food that I need to eat. And somebody did ask me what I was eating, so I'm going to break that down a little bit too. And you know, so come on to my private Facebook group, and it is the Holistic Weight Loss and Diabetes Solution for Women Over 50. Come and get an invite yourself, or tag me in my regular Facebook group, because what I'm doing every day, which I just popped in my head, I'm like, oh, I need to do this, is telling you what I'm doing every day with food, with drink, with my lifestyle. because these are the behind the scene things that I am doing to support myself, to take care of myself, and why I'm doing them. Why do I add this specific collagen to my matcha green tea with this other specific ingredient? And what did I put in there? And why am I packing this up and taking it with me on a road trip and drinking this every day? Those are some of the things that I do for self-care and that I can impart to people who follow me on my private Facebook group, because it matters. Everything we do matters. So everything you put on your skin, everything you breathe through your nose, everything you eat has information to your body to help you turn off your disease-causing process in your body and to help you lose the weight for good. But if your body is smelling fragrances, if you're putting things on your skin that are not organic, if you are putting food into your body that's not organic or healthy for you, that's processed chemicals, you're not going to get the health that you want to have. You won't be able to take care of yourself. I'm seeing that with the client that came to me who wanted to reverse his diabetes. And and that gave him so much more information to be able to take care of his body for the rest of his life and to have longer life to live. And another client came back to me. She'd already lost 30 pounds working with me. She's lost another 23. And she's like, still taking care of her body, but I teach you how to do it so that you can go forward and help keep those disease-causing genes under control. That's the process. That's reclaiming the second half of your life, learning how to do this. That's resilience, determination, can-do attitude. Get excited. This is your life. You're your number one person. You've got to take care of yourself. And so the way I also take care of myself besides food is I get out and go on a road trip. I'm doing that this week. I remember reading something that said every 3 weeks you need to do something like this. You need to get your body outside of the house. You need to be grounding, getting the sunlight, getting in the forest, and doing something to reset your nervous system every 3 weeks minimally. But what if you could do that daily just by being barefoot around your yard? Don't put poison in your yard. I had to stop the gardener from doing that. I hired a gardener, and I was like horrified. Like all of a sudden he's spraying poison in my yard. And I stop that. Don't do that. No, I don't need that. I'll pull up every single weed that I don't want in my yard. I do that. Part of my gardening process. And it gives me something to do. Helps me gives me time to ground when I get out there and pull up my own weeds. We could all do that. Have a hobby that's going to help us benefit our mitochondria, benefit our energy, help turn off those disease-causing genes in our body. And so that's why FDN is so powerful. You'll have your diet, you'll have your sleep support, you'll have your movement support, and you have your stress management, and you'll have targeted supplementation to help support the vital voids that are happening in your body, nutritional support that you don't need. If you're having malabsorption, oh my gosh, if your gallbladder's not working and you're not actually creating bile to digest your fat and your protein, you've got a problem. Houston, we got a problem. You need to know that. And I'm seeing that in the last 3 tests. That's huge. Okay. And that's why I am so grateful to be doing this and helping my clients get that better health that they want, to get their life turned back on, to get back to beautiful. You got to turn it back on. Stop the disease-causing process. Flip that sugar switch off. If you are overwhelmed and say, I can't do this, these foods make me feel good, I love the pasta, I love the wheat, I love the sugar, those are addictions. You are addicted to these foods. They make your brain feel good in the moment. But what if you could actually get rid of all of these cravings? Because that's how I work with my clients. I get rid of these cravings for you. We dial in the right amount of protein and fat for your body. Find out what's going on underneath the hood. Reduce the pain and inflammation, increase the energy, stop the brain fog. This is the process that happens when you actually focus on a holistic low-carb method and lifestyle to get your body back in shape and to reduce that bucket load. And so, as I was saying, somebody was asking me what it is that I eat every day. I love the food that I eat. Right now, I actually feel really empowered and good. I told myself that we are going to have bulletproof coffee for breakfast and that we are going to eat after 12. So it's 1 o'clock now, Pacific time. I have a client at 2, so I need to be done with this soon. And I didn't feel hungry, and I wanted to do a longer fast today because just like you, I'm trying to lose the weight and tune things up. And I got a wedding to go to on Saturday. I'm like, I'm going to fast today. I thought I'd fast Monday, but it didn't. It happened to be Tuesday. And so I'm doing 1 meal a day today. And I'm just going to have one of the dishes that I really like is I take 2 cans of tuna. Drain it out, and we give that to the cats. And you can keep it in if you don't have cats. It's good oil. It's omega-3 oil for your body and your skin. And then I add 6 eggs to that. And then I add in seasoning like tarragon or dill. And you could add garlic, you could add some sea salt. You can add, I like to add about, that's a double recipe, so that's 2 servings. I like to add about a quarter cup to a half a cup of almond flour. And then I like to add in some Parmesan. Even though I'm dairy sensitive, I do seem to be able to handle a little bit of Parmesan and some cheese, but I don't do liquid dairy. And so then I whip all that up and I make pancakes out of it. And the other day, and I switch this off. Sometimes I do salmon, canned salmon. And one day I baked it in a pan and I put the bacon fat all around, like a quiche dish or a lasagna dish. And then I put it in the toaster oven and I cooked it that way. And it was really cool because then it looked like a salmon pie. And then I had leftovers. And so that was really fun. And so what I like to do is make pancakes out of it because then I could cook it in bacon fat and I get more fat. I need more fat for my brain. I always focus on getting 30 grams of protein because I need the amino acids and we want muscle synthesis. So you need 30 grams of protein at each meal because if you don't get protein. You don't get muscle synthesis. It's super important. And if you don't get the right amount of protein, you can't grow your bones. You can't have hair. I'm actually growing hair. It's thicker than it's ever been and it's longer than it's ever been. It's pretty exciting. We need protein and we need nutrients for our brain and we need fat for our brain. But if you're not digesting it, if you're not absorbing it, you could be wasting your money on good, healthy food because you're not digesting your food and you're going to end up with detoxification processes and you're going to be blocked and end up with more cancer risk in your body. I see this on the test. And so those are the focuses that you need to look at. And so running a Dutch hormone test and getting a GI map test, a stool test and a urine test, so much information. And then just one more test, a metabolic panel test specifically. And then finding what your food sensitivities are because you've got to turn off the pain of inflammation. You've got to stop eating the foods your body's reacting to and sending out mediator release and antigens load on your body. We need to reverse and reduce the risk of immune imbalances in our body and lift up our body, give it what it needs, support it so that it can get back into homeostasis. That's the whole process. And yes, it can be a lot. That's why you work with somebody who's been through it. One of my clients said, yeah, you've been through it. I want somebody who's lost the weight in her 50s, who's successful and who knows what she's talking about so that I can have the same success. And so that's what she did. That's her 50th birthday celebration. I'm so excited to be supporting her. Okay, so besides eating the tuna, eggs, and salmon and just making them in different ways, I do grass-fed. I keep grass-fed beef patties in the refrigerator, and I went to Costco in Burbank here because my local Costco didn't have this brand, and I wanted the grass-fed patties. I don't know that they're 100% grass-fed, but I feel like I'm doing better for my body doing these. And then if not, I'll get the organic ground beef or grass-fed beef because I want higher quality food. And if I could get the higher quality free-range eggs, I want free-range eggs because you could be sensitive to eggs. You could be sensitive to the corn and the soy that the chickens are eating, that the animals are eating, and you could be reacting to that as a mediator release in your body, a sensitivity. And so you might have inflammation from that. And so we want to clean up our egg source, clean up our food source, eat holistically as best we can. And then, it's not that it's that more expensive. You're spending your food in different ways. I remember one of my clients says, I know exactly what I need to eat. He didn't feel like he was wasting any money on his groceries. He felt he spent the same amount. He was just buying different things. And so he didn't feel that it was more expensive at the time. So that's always good to keep in mind. I don't buy a lot of stuff anymore. I just pretty much keep tuna, sardines, salmon, shrimp, eggs, beef in the house. I've got celery and I've got a cucumber. I like arugula. I have kimchi. I have sauerkraut. I have grass-fed Teton Ranch hot dogs in my refrigerator. Those are foods that I have, and I'll just put things together as I'm cooking. I picked up a cauliflower the other day, and I made my seafood chowder with the shrimp and the salmon, and I put green onions in that one as well. So I have onions that I use, garlic that I use. Those are food that's information to your body to turn off the disease-causing genes. I have rosemary in the garden. I love to go and get fresh rosemary. If I cook a whole chicken, I'd like to get a free-range chicken so that I can eat the skin because the skin is healthy for our body. That's collagen. And then but I want it free range. And then I'll put fresh rosemary on it, fresh pressed olive oil. Today I had some ghee with my MCT oil and my bulletproof coffee with some cocoa and a couple of drops of monk fruit. And then I had olive oil and I had some amino acids because I still want to have muscle synthesis even if I'm fasting. So my hack and a trick that we can do is get the perfect aminos. I get them from Fullscript. I have all my clients get this, and this is a weight loss hack. So this helps you build more muscle so you can shoot more glucose through your muscles. And actually, as you build more muscles, you actually tolerate more carbohydrates in the long run. And you're getting better bone density and better muscle growth for longevity as you get older. So this is my holistic low carb method is a longevity process. And so that you get back to living and reclaiming the second half of your life for health freedom, for freedom in retirement. One of my clients is having freedom in retirement, healthier now than she was 4 months ago, so that she can be excited to go and retire and be able to get up and move around and be busy. We take for granted sometimes how active we can be when we're feeling better. And so when we use food that we were designed to eat and actually want to stimulate our lifestyles as if we were not in a zoo, but we were outside roaming free, connected to the earth and eating the food that we were designed to eat, that will flip off your sugar switch. That will flip off your disease-causing genes. That'll plug you back into the earth is so important. Getting light into our eyes is so important. Getting to sleep before 10 p.m. is critical. We need to have that restorative sleep. Removing the toxins around our house and discovering what they are is almost it's a health hobby. This whole thing is a health hobby. That's taking care of yourself. This is health is your wealth. This is your health hobby. And you could do all of this. It's not really that complicated. You just want to get in action and do it. But when you work with me for 6 months, you get to hang out with me, get my energy, my certainty, my conviction. And when I hear what you need, I know what you need, and then I can do that for you. Give you the resources, guide you in the right direction. And you may not need what you need, but when I hear something, I all of a sudden know what you need. And so that's part of the talent of my lived experience and my practitioner education that I get to support you with. And so that's why this is the number one thing we need to do to take care of ourselves as a woman over 50. And these are all the steps that I broke down that you get to work on and you get to manage, because this is what we do. And so think about the fact that you are your child and that you need to take care of yourself. So don't give that child what is going to hurt that child. The alcohol is a toxin to your brain and your body. Cigarettes are a toxin. You end up with COPD. Breathing in somebody else's cigarette smoke isn't going to help. We want to reduce the toxic load with the chemical preservatives in our food, as well as the chemicals from medications we don't need. Like, what if you could actually support your thyroid naturally and eventually get off some of the medications? You need to work with your medical provider. But I had a client that got off her antidepressant, and she got onto thyroid management with me. And what else did she? Off her birth control because she wants to have a healthy baby. She's getting married. She's down 56 pounds, and she's maintaining it. At first, she was a little nervous. She says, I'm just exhausted. I'm tired. I just need to stop the diet right now. I was like, take a diet break. Take a diet break and go in maintenance. You'd earned it. You've been doing this for 2 years. It's okay. I take breaks. I'm taking a break this weekend when I go on my road trip. I'm bringing all the food that I want to eat, and I'm not even going to buy any food out. I'm going to have one meal out at a wedding, but that's it. Everything's coming in a cooler with me because I like to eat the food that I want to eat that's good for my body, that's not poison. And I like picnics. I'm going to get outside and ground, get and explore, get eye candy for my eyes. Like when you get out and you see the world around you and you're in nature, that is awe. This is an awe experience. This is letting nature relax your nervous system, and you get to turn around, breathe deeper, look at everything, just be in awe of the beauty in the world around you. So reset your nervous system, puts you into parasympathetic state, and helps you get back to homeostasis. That is part of that process. And so when you're doing that, that's how you can plug back into the earth to get the energy that the earth and the world wants to give to you. But you got to stop blocking it. Stop wearing the sunglasses. Wear a hat initially if you need to when things are super bright. Get out in the morning and get that solar callus started on your skin so that you can tan. so that you could build up sun protection. But you also have to take out the vegetable oils out of your body. So you have to give your body an oil change. These are all the things that I do. These are all the things that I had to do. And when I got all this dialed in, all of it, that's when I lost the last 20 pounds. And I'm excited to be 61. I just saw somebody, I was listening to somebody in the Quicksilver Menopause Mastery program. She's 75 years old. She looks like she's 50. And I'm like, that's me. That's going to be me. That's going to be me. We can live healthy and look gorgeous after 50, in our 60s. We just have to actually give our body the nutrition, digest that nutrition, and assimilate it into our body correctly, and actually live the way that we're designed. Using whole food nutrition. Sometimes we got to pull in the supplementations, and we got to focus on that sleep. We got to turn off the cravings, turn off the pain of inflammation, bring back that energy, turn off the brain fog. All of this happens. Reset metabolism, reduce the blood sugar dysregulation, and stop having insulin resistance. That's how you do it. I know it's a lot. That's why I have the low carb method. And it's a health adventure experience for women over 50. And I've been developing my framework so that it's so easier to understand what I'm doing and breaks it down more. So that's going to be coming out. I'm going to show you a picture of that. And hopefully by the end of the week, I'll have it more organized. So it's time to take care of yourself, ladies. It's time to get excited about life. So here's your homework. Make a list of everything you feel in your body. Make a list. That's your body talking to you. If you feel tired, if you feel pain anywhere, brain fog, cravings, foods that you feel you have to eat, make columns, figure it out, and then think about what it is that you want to do to correct all of that, because I don't have any pain in my body at 61. My skin is looking good. I don't even have foundation on. I'm tanning. My hair is thick and growing. I've got a little bit of white coming in, but not a lot of gray. It seems like it keeps trying to come in, but whatever I'm doing stops it from developing. I'm doing my metal detoxification. Maybe that's helping. And sleep's not perfect all the time, but I'm working on it. And when you actually get to see the 5 diagnostic labs I run to see what's going on in your body, you get to choose the health that you want to have, because you get to see what's happening inside your body with these tests and see where the inflammation is and see how it correlates with all the tests in your metabolic analysis. It's so exciting for me to give you your results and recommendation and show you what's happening in your body, so that because this is the information you were looking for. This is the information my clients wanted. And I'm going to hold your hand and take you away from that cliff and guide you back into living the life that you want to have and rebuild you back to beautiful. Okay, guys? So make that list. Make sure you focus on your protein. That's 30 grams of protein. Come join me at my Facebook group, private Facebook group, Holistic Weight Loss and Diabetes Solution for Women Over 50. Come and join me, because I'm going to give you tips and tricks every day as to what I'm doing. And I'm going to put everything there as easy at your fingertips as well. And you get to ask me questions, and I'll answer your questions. So all of that's happening. I do have multiple levels of my program. And so my signature program is a 6-month program. I need that much time with you to give you the results you're looking for overall, to get you that 20 to 30 pounds of weight loss. That's the average. If you only do 3 months, because that's what you can afford, it's only enough to really analyze the test and to get you started, but it's not enough to give you that transformation you might be looking for. But I also have a jumpstart session. It's a food sensitivity test that you could take at home. You can get a phlebotomist or take it to your outpatient services at your local hospital. And we find out what the foods you're sensitive to are. And then we could turn off, have you stop eating the food you're eating, so you can actually quickly reduce the inflammation in your body, reduce the pain quickly, and work towards healing and sealing your gut so that you can get that first level done. That is foundational. That is foundational. And with that and a low carb diet that I can jumpstart you with, even if you weren't doing low carb, I can still help you get under 100 carbs a day so that we can start turning off that inflammation in your body. So that's 6 weeks with me. That's the jumpstart. We could start there. get to know me, and then we can add on to it. So that's all available. And I've got you, got you. This is what's so powerful for us as we're over 50, is to really take back control of our lives, to reclaim the second half of our life, take care of ourselves. That's the number one thing. We are the number one person in our lives that we got to manage. So stop beating yourself up. Don't give yourself things that hurt you. And let's find out how we can make you better. Okay? You get to choose. As health is your wealth. All right. Talk to you soon. And bye. See you later.